The first year of the 21st century, the UN Millennium Summit was held. At the summit, the world made pledges to cooperate by 2015 in achieving Millennium Development Goals set up to solve 8 major issues ranging from poverty, hunger, education, gender equality, infants, children, women, diseases to environment. Through the World Changer campaign, VANK, a cyber diplomatic envoy, wishes to realize its dream of seeing children and teenagers of the new millennia grow into future leaders who make the goals and values of MDG a reality. On every Wednesday, an unfamiliar rally takes place outside the Embassy of Japan. Most of the participants are ladies in their senior years. All of them were former comfort women who were kidnapped by Japanese soldiers during the World War II to be forced to work as sex toys for Japanese army. At that time, Japanese soldiers dropped in villages in the middle of the night, assaulting and kidnapping girls. Among the girls, the youngest was a 12-year-old girl who had not had her first period yet. A whopping number of 200,000 Asian women were forced to become sex slaves to the Japanese army without minimal human rights protection. After the war, most of them were abandoned in the battlefield. Though 70 years have passed, the horrible past memories still haunt them as if it happened yesterday. The Wednesday's weekly protest first started in January 1992 and has been held for about 20 years, making 907th in March 2010. A large number of former comfort women who staged the rally in the beginning now passed away. Their only hope is to receive a heartfelt apology from the Japanese government. These remarks clearly show that Japan completely turns away from the truth, its own making of terrible and despairing history. But history reprimands Japan's wrongdoings in a stern voice. A research conducted by the government of Japan revealed that an imperial order was issued in 1944 for the Japanese government and the imperial army to be involved in systematic recruitment of comfort women. In 1977, Japan's Mainichi Shimbun published a collection of photographs showing that the Imperial Army at the time kidnapped young Korean women to be forced to work as comfort women. A congressional research service and court documents of the Netherlands also show that the Japanese Imperial Army coerced women into prostitution. The Supreme Court of Japan also acknowledged that the Imperial Army kidnapped, confined, and sexually assaulted the so-called comfort women. Facing such an egregious distortion of history by Japan, the international community cannot keep silence any longer. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a resolution on comfort women, demanding that the government of Japan offer an official apology. The UN Human Rights Council urged that the Japanese government should acknowledge its legal responsibility and make an official apology to the victims. International press, including Korea and China, delivered messages from the world to Japanese politicians, calling them to fulfill their responsibilities. Nevertheless, the Japanese government paid a compensation of meager $1 to Korean comfort women in 2009. Japan made a mockery of human rights and the international community while aspiring to become a member of the UN Human Rights Council. The Court of Japan also dismissed all the lawsuits filed against Japan by former comfort women, ruling that Japan does not hold responsibility for making compensations. On every Wednesday outside the Embassy of Japan in Seoul, comfort women appeal to the conscience of human beings. So such a violation of human rights should not be repeated in the next generations. Besides the comfort women issue, the world witnesses a great number of human rights issues. The disabled also suffer because their human rights are not fully protected. They find mass transportation too huge a hurdle to overcome. Crossing the street at a crosswalk is inconvenient for them due to a raised sill. Violence against children takes place in every corner of the world. Women's human rights are frequently violated. North Korean defectors who fled from the north in search of freedom might risk severe torture or even lives if arrested. Human rights are the most basic form of rights guaranteed for everyone. When we care about human rights, we will be able to create a society where everyone can have a decent life.